Hey yo, it's Brian here. Today, sort of talking about the San Francisco 49ers. In this one, talking about fantasy football on Yahoo. I'm in the championship matchup for next week. I'm excited. I mean, I never thought that me from where I started earlier in the season all the way until now that I'd be in the championship matchup. That is awesome right there. I mean, I've had great players, but at the same time, I've had a little bit of luck. And assuming that everything goes through, I'm gonna be playing with my bro F1 McLaurin on Sunday. He has the Saints Alvin Kamara this Monday Night Football tonight, so I'm hoping that he does a little bit in order for us to make it to the final. But I'm hoping Miami wins because 49ers, we need playoff chances and we need a little bit of help in order to make the playoffs. I mean, it's kind of disappointing that we had to have help in order to make the playoffs, but that's just the way it is. They should have taken care of business against Tennessee on Thursday Night Football. That didn't happen. Jimmy Garoppolo, look, he got an injury a little bit, so maybe it's Trey Lance time this week. I'll make a prediction video tomorrow to get some more updates on it, see what they're saying in terms of his availability for Sunday. Anyways, talk about fantasy football. I mean, I started this season 1-6. Yes, 1-6. I think I won one game, lost like 5 in a row, and then I ran the table all the way to a championship matchup. Won the quarterfinal, won the semifinal, and now in the final, I'm hoping that we can win it. I think the payout for us is about a few $100. That's pretty good right there. Second place is a few $100 as well. So I'm guaranteed to win something, and I'll take it big time. But I think I can win this matchup. I mean, if I'm looking at my roster right now, I'm going to try to post a snapshot up for you guys on who I have right now as of this video right now. Quarterbacks all the way down to kickers and defense. I currently have Patrick Mahomes. He's had an up and down season, mostly up, but he did have some games where he actually cost me a few times where he only scored like 8 or 9 points because they were struggling a little bit. This was like earlier to almost in the middle of the season where they couldn't find their groove, but now Mahomes has really came through and given me about like almost 30 points a game. The one against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday, he gave me about 22 points. Not too bad right there. My big winner for this week in the semifinal is T. Higgins from the Bengals. I actually have him and Tyler Boyd, but I benched Boyd and started Higgins, and he went off in this game. I thought Jamar Chase was the guy to go up against the Ravens, but it actually was Higgins, so I'm really happy for that. Deebo Samuel, actually this is probably the thing that saved my season. I traded DK Metcalf. I drafted him number 1 overall for my pick. Well, actually, I had Ezekiel Elliott, but McLaurin thankfully gave me Johnathan Taylor for and even swapped with Zeke because when I was going into the draft, I was trying to find my way into the draft, but I didn't know how to get it, so they auto-drafted Zeke for me, which I was not a big fan of personally. I mean, I love Zeke, don't get me wrong, but he's had ups and downs in terms of a season, and pretty much that's what it's going down to all the way until right now. I mean, he had a great game against Washington on Sunday night, but he's been a little inconsistent. Johnathan Taylor, he started off a little bit slow for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then he started giving me like almost 30 points a game. The one against the Bills, he gave me 53 points, and I single-handedly won that week just because he's 53 points right there. What can you do about that? But trading DK Metcalf, my second overall pick for the fantasy draft for Deebo Samuel, that's pretty much saved my season because Deebo's having an awesome year. DK's been on and off, so I probably wouldn't have made it had I not traded for Deebo Samuel. And I didn't know Deebo was going to have this kind of year where he's just absolutely dominant in both the receiving and rushing game as well. I'm happy for him, and definitely he's a valuable asset to my fantasy team and the 49ers as well. That's pretty cool right there. I started Christian Kirk. He had about 12 points in this game. I thought he was going to get more because of the fact that DeAndre Hopkins is out, but they've been all over the place in terms of the Cardinals. I mean, they started off 7-0. Now they're slipping a little bit. That's not really good right there. That's probably a one-and-done team, unfortunately. I mean, shoot, at least they can brag that they're in the playoffs right now, and we're still trying to vibe our way to the playoffs, but still struggling big time, and that's not a good sign right there. Johnathan Taylor for this semifinal matchup, he only gave me about 11 points, but, I wasn't too concerned because I thought my other guys would step up. A guy that I picked up, Ronald Jones II for Tampa Bay, he gave me 16 points. That's really good right there. He's been a little inconsistent in terms of fumbling the ball and issues like that, ball security, but since Leonard Fournette is out, he's pretty much the number 1 back. I think Vaughn's the other guy that they went to against the Panthers, but Jones, he had a really good game for me. Gronkowski, he didn't really do too much in terms of points. He only gave me about 3.3 points. The big disappointment for me personally, our man George Kittle, the people's tight end, he only gave me 4 points against the Titans. The Titans did a pretty good job containing him for the most part on Thursday Night Football. Still, the past few weeks, he's been giving me like 30, 35, almost 40 points for the past few weeks. Ever since the Seahawks game when Deebo went out, they've been using him in the offense more, and that's what they're probably going to use against the Texans this Sunday. I'm excited for that. But Kittle, I expect him to play a much better game against Houston this week. Justin Tucker, I think he's the best kicker in football. He only gave me 3 points because I think they only scored touchdowns, but then you have the field goals. Arizona's defense, it's been on and off, but in fantasy, they gave me 18 points for this semifinal matchup. And yeah, That's my team right there, 160.82 points. And actually, my opponent, he had Dak Prescott, but I was very worried. I thought I was going to lose that game. But fortunately, they benched him in favor of Cooper Rush just to keep him not being injured or anything like that, any freak accidents. So, Prescott, he had an amazing game on Sunday Night Football, and that's the place you want to have an amazing game is when everybody's watching, and they humiliated Washington big time. The biggest break I got from the semifinal matchup was A.J. Brown. He benched A.J. Brown, and he had 31.5 points. So I probably would have lost this matchup had he started him, so that I kind of got lucky right there. But yeah, in the championship final, I'm excited for this, and I never thought that I'd be in the championship final. I was 1-6. I was about to give up, to be honest with you, but luckily I was able to pull through and do awesome things. And this is my whole league right here. I got a couple people from family in California, F1 McLaurin, Thank Evans, Slim Brady, and Ice Cold Sherbert. Those are family, so they did not too bad for the most part, but it was me, F1 McLaurin, and Thank Evans that made it to the playoff. I beat Thank Evans in the quarterfinal barely. I won by like 2 points, so I kind of got lucky right there. But yeah, I mean, fantasy, it's been fun. It's nice to learn intricacies of other teams. It gives me a better knowledge, and yeah, I mean, it's been a fun time for the most part. It's easy to say because I'm in the championship matchup right now, but I mean, for me to never play fantasy football, not really know the intricacies of it, and to make it to the championship game, I'm ecstatic right there. I'm really surprised that I even made it this far in the first place. But what else do I got for this whole fantasy football thing? Guys on my bench, Tyler Boyd, I'm kind of inclined to start him this week as well with T. Higgins, but they do play Kansas City, which is not going to be the easiest game of their lives because Kansas City's defense is actually pretty good. But I end up starting at least one of them. I don't know, but I might bench Christian Kirk in favor of Tyler Boyd because I don't know if Kirk can really do much in terms of the game against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are actually pretty good. I know we like to hate on them. 49er fans, we like to hate on them, but I mean, we can't deny that they're a really good team, especially on defense. That's when they really shine. Trayvon Diggs and who's the other guy? Micah Parsons. I mean, that Micah Parsons guy is pretty good, I would say. I watched that game against Washington, and yeah, he looked really good. I mean, if he wants to be Defensive Player of the Year, he probably could be Defensive Player of the Year, but I think they'll give it to somebody else. But still, he's having an awesome rookie year, and I can't deny that at all. Got to give the Cowboys a little bit of respect, right? I know it sounds weird to say, but they look pretty good against Washington. But they have been inconsistent for a lot of the times of the year, but they're looking really good right now at the perfect time. So, yep, that's pretty much it, you guys. Championship final. Yep. Real life football. Hopefully the Dolphins can beat the Saints on Monday Night Football. Both teams are ravaged by COVID right now. The Saints, they are down to their third string quarterback. They lost a lot of guys on defense. I think DeMario Davis and Malcolm Jenkins. They also lost a couple of people on their offensive line. The big guy, Ryan Ramczyk, I think he's the right guard for the Saints if I can't mistaken. So yeah, I'm hoping the Dolphins can do something with it. They have a pretty good defense. Tua has been doing really well for the most part, and I just need them to win because if they lose this game, if we beat the Texans on Sunday, then it'd be pretty much a playoff lock right there. But if everybody wins out, the Eagles, the 49ers, and the Saints, actually we'd be the team that probably wouldn't make the playoffs in the first place, which is really weird because we beat the Eagles, but there's just some weird rule that happens. This happened to the Chargers a few years ago when the Bills made it at 9-7, but the Chargers beat them earlier in the year and they didn't make the playoffs, but the Bills did. So I'm hoping that's the worst case scenario, but they should have taken care of business against Tennessee. There was a lot of winnable games that they could have won in this one. They could have beaten the Packers, they could have beaten the Seahawks twice, they couldn't beat the Cardinals maybe once, but a lot of missed opportunities, and they put themselves in this situation, unfortunately. I really want them to make the playoffs. I think they can make some noise in terms of the right team, but what can I say, right? That's it, guys. Please let me know what you guys think about my fantasy team right now. Would you make any adjustments to my team? Please let me know in the comments below. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe. It's going to help me out a lot. I hope to catch you guys up tomorrow when I do prediction videos for the 49ers and Texans game. Bye, guys. Love y'all. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Go Niners all day. Go Miami Dolphins.